Yes, hello my dear friends, how you all are? So hopefully you are fine, good, and yes, your preparation is going on in the well direction. So my dear friends, today that session is important to the people who is going to be appear in the exam of AEE, either you are from the Andhra Pradesh or from the Telangana. Paper 2 both have approximate same syllabus in the paper 2. So here one subject is their material science. So I am going to be take here 25 question. Little bit in Andhra and Telangana, little bit pattern of question pattern is little bit different. Otherwise syllabus and paper 2 everything is same. Little bit question pattern may be different in the Telangana and Andhra. Already in the Telangana your exam is expected in the month of September, and and Andhra people your notification may be notified by 15th of August. And already in our paid batch that module already I have covered, already I have completed that module. And if you want to prepare, you want to ace your preparation with your PDF, then yes, we can join that module and we'll get all the video in the recording form. And now our focus is to practice session. So now our focus is to take more and more practice sessions, so that whatever you have read in the paid module, it will be revised through that question, and you could be also able to judge yourself, okay, how much thing you have remembered and how much thing you have forget. And again you have to go through the video, and if anything is improvement is needed in you, do the things like that, do the needful things there. So I have taken here 25 question. We can see here different types of question I have taken from your syllabus. Okay, all that assertion reason type, matching type, MCQ, all type of question I have taken here according to your requirement of exam and by analyzing of your PYQ previous year question. On that basis I have framed here question from all the topic according to your given syllabus. Okay, so now my dear friends, I am not going to waste your time. Let's start the story. That is the first question, and I think you all are able to answer. The atomic packing factor of face-centered cubic and hexagonal closed pack structures is approximately option A 0.52, option B 68%, or you can say 0.68, option C 0.74, option D is 1%. So what is the APF? APF will be what? 74% in case of face-centered cubic and hexagonal cubic. Simple, here we can see. So what is APF, my dear friends? APF, simple, how much efficiently atom are packed inside the crystal. APF basically indicate, let us assume that is your unit cell, right? This is your unit cell, and the volume of unit cell is what? Let's assume the volume is inside is A. So what is the volume of unit cell? We can say AQ, right? And according to FCCBC, in different case, atom will be there. In face centered, atom will be at each and every face. In the body centered, it will be at the body. So basically APF indicate how much portion of total volume of the unit cell has been occupied by the atoms. Like way here, if the APF, atomic packing factor, is 74%, the meaning is that the 74% of the volume of that cube or that unit cell has been occupied by the atoms, and rest how much? 26% volume is here it is totally void, no any atom is there. So that indicate, basically APF indicate how much the atoms are closely packed. Higher the APF, more will be the closely packed, and lesser the APF means less space of the unit cell has been occupied by the atoms, and more is here vacant is there, more void is there, like that indicate. Another way you can also know, my dear friends, higher the APF, meaning is that less space is available to come the new atoms. In that case, alloying of element is, you cannot do much more alloy of element because you don't have a space in the unit cell, right? So if APF is less, meaning is that more space is available to the alloying element, so we can do the alloy more. So that another thing you can understand, it indicate. So simple, here we can see, my dear friends, atomic packing factor indicate how efficiently atoms are packed inside the crystal. FCP and SCP structure have highest packing efficiency among all the common structures, and that is about 74%. Here we can say the face centered. At each and every face one atom is there. Here one atom. On that face we can see one atom is there. On that face we can see one atom is there. So every face we can see atom is there. And on that face, and this is the atom. And the hexagonal Coulomb pack, this is, so here you have to be just keep in mind APF is how much percent? 74%. That is the your jump question, I think. That is the statement based question. Read the statement and conclusion carefully. A statement is given: increasing the tempering temperature during heat treatment of a steel leads to improved ductility and toughness. Okay. And conclusion one is there: increasing the tempering temperature improve brittleness, but there is no effect on the toughness of the steel, right? And here we can see the second conclusion is there. Second conclusion: increasing the tempering temperature increase the hardness. Now option you have only only conclusion one follow. Option B only conclusion second follow. Option C both, and option D neither. Option D means 4 is there. What will be answer in that case, my dear friends? Any one of you can answer that question. Have you remember or forget? Answer, what could be answer? You can comment your answer. See, okay, increasing the tempering temperature during heat treatment of a steel improve the ductility and toughness. Okay, now read the conclusion. Increasing tempering temperature improve the brittleness. No, increasing the tempering temperature improve the brittleness. That is wrong, my dear friends. That is wrong. But there is no effect on the toughness of a steel. Yes, there could be effect on the toughness also. Toughness is what? Before fracture, how much they are going to be absorb the energy. You have any object and you are going to apply the force. So and because of that force, some displacement is there. Let's assume delta x. So what will be the work done? Work done will be force into displacement now. So that is energy. So that energy has been absorbed by the body. So that is called toughness. So do you think by changing the temperature, toughness will not change? Yes, it will change, sir. But it is telling no effect. That is wrong. Increasing the tempering temperature increase the hardness. No, that is also not right. So what will be the answer? D for Delhi is the right answer. Here we can see. A statement clearly says that increasing tempering temperature improve ductility and toughness. Yes. Conclusion. Here we can see. Conclusion incorrect because it says toughness is not affected. This is directly contradict the statement. The statement is given that are just opposite of that. Same here conclusion 2 also also incorrect because the statement does not say hardness increases. In general, higher tempering temperature tends to reduce the hardness that. So in that way you have to be answer the statement. According to statement you have to be answer the which conclusion is correct like that. Okay, I will see more question on that type of question. And try to keep in mind tempering at higher temperature, hardness decreases, ductility increases. If ductility increases, obviously toughness increases, because ductility is what? Ability of material to change their shape in the form of wire. That is the ductility now. So if they have high ductility, so they will absorb more energy before the fracture, right? So obviously toughness will also increase. But if the less ductility means they will fracture itself there, so they will not store more energy. Okay, that is the matching question. Match the LY with its major constituent. Another one side, that you can say list 1, and this is basically your list 2. This is LY and their constituents, and you have to match. Answer, my dear friends. I am going to give you 30 seconds. What could be answer in that case? Okay, even you can pause the video, then you can answer. See, brass is what? Have you remember? I have given one concept in the class, brass. How many letter is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is made by copper plus zinc. Have you remember or not? 6 letter. So yes, we can say A will match with D. A will match with D. So okay, either A is the right answer or C is the right answer. Right, only these two. B and D cannot be answer. Now think about bronze. Bronze, how many letter is there? 6. 6. So it will be copper plus tin. Have you remember or not? Copper plus tin. Bronze is copper plus tin. So copper plus tin. You know, B 2 match with B. Okay, so you know C cannot be answer because 2 is going to match A. So A will be the right answer. Now try to remember all that. Duramine. So what is duramine? So what is the constituents of duramine? It is basically, you know, they are going to be keep the constituents aluminum, copper, magnesium, or even manganese also some percentage. So that is called duramine. So try to keep in mind. But in that type of question, always try to eliminate the option. Rather you are going to match all that, then you are coming to the option. No, I will always recommend it in that type of question. Whatever you know, try to match and then go through the option and eliminate the option. Easily you will get the answer. And apply all same concept on upcoming 25 question, whatever I am going to discuss here. Solder. Solder, you know, soldering. This is basically you might have seen in the electronic industry. Whenever some fault you are getting in radio, television, or even in the laptop also, or even in the mobile phone also, you go to the electronic shop. So they are going to perform the soldering or brazing operation there. So solder, basically this is alloy are going to made by the combination of lead and tin. So try to keep in mind this thing. So A for apple is the right answer here. Okay, even I have given here. That is another question on the screen, question number 4th. Try to answer. This is matching question. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1 crystal structure is there and list 2 coordination number is there. Coordination number means your neighbor atoms, right? Neighbor atoms indicate the coordination number. How much neighbor atom you have, how much neighbor atom anyone have, that is called their coordination number. I used to say your neighbor, your home is this, so which all the neighbor of your home, that all are coordination number to you. If this is your home, so all the neighbor of your home is coordination number to your home, right? Same. So what is simple cubic? What is the coordination number for the simple cubic? A match with B. A match with B. Oh sorry, B na 6. Coordination number is 6. Body centered 8. Body centered 8. Face centered and this. Both face centered and hexagonal closed pair. Both have 12, 12. Both have 12. Anyone can match. Only one option is there. A will be the right answer in that case also. So try to remember the coordination number concept also. Simple cubic has 6. Nearest neighbor, body center had 8. Nearest neighbor, face center have 12. Nearest neighbor and hexagonal have also have 12 neighbor. Nearest neighbor. That is the next question. In a binary LY system at a constant pressure, when two phases coexist, the degree of freedom are and some option you have. In binary LY system. Binary LY system means how many component is there, my dear friends? Try to solve that question. What will be answer in that case? Anybody? So simple, P plus F equal to C plus 2. P plus F is equal to C plus 2 now. But here my dear friends, constant P plus F is equal to C plus 2. That is called your phase rule now. Simple. So P plus F equal to C plus 2. But these two indicate two things which is variable. One is pressure and another one is temperature. These two things indicate variable. But in the question it is telling that at a constant pressure. That means now if the pressure becomes constant, so now only one thing is variable, right? So this equation will modify P plus F is equal to C plus 1. P plus F is equal to C plus 1 because two parameter is there. Basically in the thermodynamics you might have been gone through pressure and temperature, but since the pressure is constant, so only one, so the new equation will be P plus F is equal to C plus 1, and accordingly you have to be moved there. So here we can say F equal to C minus P plus 1, so 2 minus 2 plus 1, and you are getting how much? It is coming out to be 1. So binary phase system is two phase, only one variable can be changed independently, only one, obviously. Okay, come to the next question, that is the question from the iron carbon diagram. The eutectoid reaction is represented as eutectoid, a liquid equal to alpha plus beta, solid phase to different solid phase, liquid plus solid going to form new solid, solid is going to be converted in the liquid. What? Eutectoid. My dear friends, that is the question from the iron carbon diagram. Iron carbon diagram, you can see I have came with the answer. Here we can see this. Already we have discussed about that. Have you remember? See that now. This 0.76%. This is your eutectoid point. This is your, before that this is called ferrite, and here we can say, even try to keep in mind at which temperature it is going to be takes place eutectoid point. So it will be at 727 degrees Celsius. So what you are getting? So here you have gamma iron, or you can say the gamma iron, that is also called austenite. This is gamma iron, it is austenite, and when you are going to be cool, it is going to be cool, it is going to be cool. So what you are getting? You are getting alpha ferrite plus Fe3C. This is Fe3C, that is called cementite. So alpha ferrite plus Fe3C, cementite, combinedly known as what? Perlite. So if you are going to be cool the austenite, or simple we can say the gamma iron, then you are getting perlite, alpha plus Fe3C. So what will be the answer? Simple, we can say B for Bombay is the right answer. So please try to remember all that thing we have discussed in the classroom. If you have remember, not remember, then please try to revise all that thing once again. So always keep in mind, they may ask, so gamma, basically this is called is what? Perlite. So sometimes they may ask, what is the perlite? By which combination you are getting perlite? So alpha iron plus Fe3C, this is called cementite. So by combining these two, that means ferrite plus cementite, you are getting perlite. Okay, the maximum solubility of carbon in austenite approximately. What is the maximum percentage of carbon which are soluble there? What could be the answer? Maximum solubility carbon in austenite. Austenite you talk about 0.02, 0.76, 2.11. Austenite will be 2.11. Yes, simple. Here we can see austenite, how much percent of carbon they can kept. This you know, austenite here. So simple, this is 2.11. That is the maximum carbon that they can hold. So here simple we can see austenite can dissolve much more carbon than ferrite. It is a maximum solubility of solubility is approximate 2.11% around at 1147 degrees Celsius. So even they, in that question they have asked what is the maximum percent of carbon that they are soluble, 2.11, but they may ask at what temperature, then answer will be 1147 degrees Celsius. So anything they may ask, my dear friends. So try to remember the things. Okay. Now this is the next question on your screen. Read the statement and conclusion. Statement 1, statement is given. Annealing of after cold working promote recovery and recrystallization, thereby restoring ductility. Now according to that statement, you have to be read the conclusion and you have to be answer. Conclusion, first conclusion is there. Annealing can soften a cold work metal. Okay, and second one, annealing always increase the work hardening. So what will be answer in that case, my dear friends? That is the question number 8. I think properly visible on your screen. What could be? Think just a few seconds and then try to answer. Okay, now see my dear, what answer you are going to be give. Annealing after cold working promote recovery and recrystallization, thereby restore ductility. Now read the conclusion one. Annealing can soften a cold work metal. Yes, you know how I am getting softened. When you talk about ductility, my dear friends, even I have told you in the class, ductility and softness are friend to each other. Hardness and brittleness are directly proportional to each other. Hardness, have you remember? Hardness proportional to brittleness, or in fact we can say brittleness is proportional to hardness. So first statement is first conclusion is right, sir. Annealing can soften the cold work metal, that is right. Now read the another statement, another conclusion. Annealing always increase the work hardening. No, if they increase the work hardening exponent, they will decrease the ductility. But the statement clearly telling it is restoring means it increasing the ductility. So my dear friends, that cannot be answer. That cannot be answer. So what will be the right answer? Only one follow. So A is the right answer. Always keep in mind, generally ductility and softness is proportional. Hardness and brittleness, if the hardness increases, brittleness will also increases. Hardness, it is the mechanical property of material which resists against the indentation, scratch, penetration. That is basically your hardness, right? So correct answer will be A for apple in that case. Okay, that is the another question. That is little bit different types of question, assertion, reason, and you have to be answer on that. Stress relieving is normally followed by rapid quenching in water. That question again had been taken from the heat treatment chapter. Stress relieving is normally followed by rapid quenching. Stress relieving, rapid quenching you talk, okay. Reason, stress relieving is performed mainly to reduce residual stresses with minimum change in microstructure. So what could be answer of that? Question number 9th on your screen, my dear friends. See, just listen, stress relieving normally followed by rapid quenching. No, that is wrong, yaar. If you are going to the rapid quenching means fast cooling. Suppose you have this rod, you have heated at a very high temperature, and after that this rod is going to be put in the cold water or even in the brine solution. So rate of heat transfer becomes very high, and whenever rate of heat transfer becomes very high, in that case stress is not going to be relieved. There will be the thermal stress will get generated. So my dear friends, assertion is not right. Stress relieving normally followed by rapid quenching is wrong. I am not able to stress. Yes, you can know. You talk about normal. You talk about what annealing. Annealing we can do the relieving of stress. Normalizing even you can also do. But this is quenching, that is promote the stress. That they are not going to relieve the stress. They will promote the thermal stress in the material. So assertion is wrong. So my dear friends, what cannot be answered? Assertion is wrong. So now listen, if you know assertion is wrong, so A, B, C can never be answered. No, only one option is left, that will be the right. Okay, now reason. Stress relieving performed mainly to reduce residual stresses within the minimum change in microstructures. Yes, that is right. That is right. So R is right. Stress relieving is performed mainly to reduce residual stresses with minimum change in the microstructures. You are not going to change the microstructures, and you want to reduce the thermal stress. That is basically called stress relieving. So D for Delhi is the right answer in that case. But if you are confused in that type of question, statement A is wrong, you are sure, then go to the D. Now why you have to waste your time, right? Come to the next question. The upper and lower yield point are clearly observed in mild steel, glass, cast iron or rubber. You might, if you talk about upper and lower yield point, this is only we can observe in the ductile material. If you see other option, these all comes under the category of what? Brittle. Now I know you guys will get very surprised. Sir, rubber is brittle. How you are telling? It is very ductile. but clearly it is mentioned, you know, rubber have much more in the plastic zone, not in the elastic zone. So the correct answer will be the mild steel. Glass cast iron is very clearly it is a brittle material. So upper and lower yield, what I will talk about, no need to talk. So only rubber is left. Rubber is not a, you know, you cannot consider as a very high elastic material it is. So you know, plastic, it has a very high plasticity. Rubber have very high plasticity. So correct answer will be what, my dear friends? A. Here we can see linear elastic, this is your upper yield point, this is your lower yield point, clearly it is visible there. Okay, so even you can read here, mild steel often shows the distinct yield point phenomena. Right now, okay, come to the next question. Upper yield point occur first, yes, after that we are getting lower yield. Okay, come to the next question. This is the next question. Question number 11. Lead the statement and conclusion. A statement is given. Two material have same yield point, yield strength, okay, but material X has larger total area under its stress strain curve than material Y. Then which of the following conclusion is right according to the given statement? Now conclusion 1. Matrix X has greater toughness than material Y, okay, and conclusion second one, material X must have greater hardness than material Y. Now it's your time to answer. I am just going to give you 30 seconds to answer that question. Now see, two material have same yield strength, but material X has larger total stress, total area under its stress strain. And you know, area is indicate what? Area under stress strain curve, my dear friends, that basically you know where here. So this indicate the toughness now. This is what? Toughness. Energy stored before fracture is called toughness. Energy stored before fracture is called what? Toughness. So read, material X have greater toughness than material Y. Yes. Why sir? Why sir? Because clearly mentioned na yaar. But material X has larger total area. X have more area. This is your X, then this is your Y, dear. This is your Y. This is your Y. It is going to fail there. So yes, conclusion 1 is right. Material X has greater toughness than material Y. This is right. But now think about conclusion number 2. Material X must have greater hardness than material Y. No sir, just now you have taught me sir, toughness, ductility, softness, all are comes under one category. Toughness increases, ductility increases, softness increases. But sir, it is telling X is more hard. No sir, that is not right. If X becomes more hard, so hardness comes with brittleness. Hardness comes with brittleness. Right. So sir, that could not be right sir. It cannot be right. So neither only second follow, both follow, only one follow. So what will be the answer? D for Delhi will be the right answer in that case. Always keep in mind, my dear friends. What you have to be keep in mind? You have to be keep in mind. See, brittleness, hardness, that if the hardness increases, brittleness increases. Ductility increases, toughness increases. Ductility increases, brittleness decreases. That thing basically you have to be keep in mind. Okay, in phase diagram of question number 12, क्या हो गया यार? In phase diagram, a phase is defined as any mixture of material, a homogeneous and physically distinct part of system, only liquid portion of the material, only solid crystal structures. What will be answer? Question number 12. Question number 12 on your screen. So you know a phase, you talk about phase, you talk about phase. So homogeneous and physically distinct part of system, that is called phase. Liquid, solid, different phase na. So homogeneous and physically distinct part of the system, this is called phase. So B for Bombo is the right answer in that case. This is the question again from the phase diagram. The line above which Ly exists completely in liquid state, the line above which Ly exists completely in liquid state is called solidus line, solvus line, liquidus line or eutectoid line. Eutectoid तो वैसे भी नहीं होगा, you know, very easily you are able to, you know, eliminate the option. What could be answer? What could be answered here? Right. So simple here we can see Chennai na. Here we can see the liquidus line separate area. ये मक्खी आ जाता है ना. A liquidus line separate the completely liquid region from the liquid plus solid region. Above this line the Ly remains internally. तो ये देखो ये आपका liquidus line है, इसके ऊपर पूरा पूरा क्या हो जाएगा, will get the liquid. This is the next question. Match na. Question number 14. Match the phase diagram with its meaning, term and meaning. Liquid line, solidus line, solvus line and tie line. Just answer that question. I am going to give 30 seconds again for that question. Liquidus line, you have just seen liquidus line, completely below which Ly is no, horizontal line used to no, boundary above which the Ly is completely liquid. Yes, A is going to match with Chennai. A is going to match with Chennai. Right, okay. Now you talk about solidus line. So boundary below which Ly is completely solid. Yes, 2 is going to match with A. Solvus line. Boundary above which, okay, it completed. Horizontal line used to two phase region. No, this is tie line dear. This is tie line. 4 is going to be with meets B. This is tie line. Horizontal line used for two phase region. This is called tie line. Next, solvus line. So boundary separating the one solid phase from the two solid phase. So this is called solvus line. So boundary separating one solid phase from two solid phase. So by matching that, we will get the A for apple in that question. That is another question from the matching, and that is the question from the heat treatment. Try to answer that question again. List 1, list 2. Surface hardening process. Okay, and here different 4. List 1, 4 thing is there. List second, 4 thing is there. Mechanical things, mechanism element is involved, and you have to be answered. That is a question from the heat treatment. So what could be answer in that case, dear? Answer that question. So here we can see carburizing, carbon diffusion to the surface, right? Nitriding, nitrogen diffusion from ammonia gas, right? Cyaniding, carbon and nitrogen diffuse from the molten, yes, cyaniding, and induction hardening. So this is surface heating by induced electric current, yes. So that is basically match and we will get the answer. My dear friends, that is the question from the heat treatment. Heat treatment, especially, you know, one topic I used to teach you, that is called from flame hardening, right? From that you are getting that question. And I think you are able to answer that question easily. Okay, that is another question. Addition of aluminium element, addition of alloying element, not aluminium. Addition of alloying elements such as chromium, molybdenum and nickel generally decrease hardenability, increase hardenability. Yes, hardenability na, chromium, molybdenum and nickel, yes, it increases the hardenability. That is the question from the alloying of element. In that topic you have given all the thing about that. That is another question from the station region. Stress relieving is normally followed by rapid quenching in water. That thing is repeated, I think, yes. Question number 18 on your screen. Match list 1 with list 2. That is again from the, you know what my dear friends, that is again from the heat treatment. Full annealing, normalizing, hardening and tempering. What will be answer in that case? Slow cooling, annealing is cooling in the furnace. Annealing is basically cooling in the furnace, you know na? If you are going to cool in the furnace, that is called analyzing. Normalizing, cooling in still air, you are going to be cool in the air, this is called normalizing. Hardening, hardening is what? Rapid cooling of water while, yes, rapid cooling will get the hardness. And tempering followed by cooling, yes. So here again you will get the answer. The main product of Oss tempering, that is the question from the heat treatment again. What is the main product of Oss tempering? Main product of Oss tempering, always keep in mind, from Oss tempering we are getting bainite. That is again question from the iron carbon diagram. So you are getting bainite. So correct answer will be B. So Oss tempering produces a bainite microstructure. Bainite has a good strength and toughness, right? Now that is the question number 20 on your screen. The question is, read the statement and conclusion. A material undergoes considerable elongation and necking before fracture. The material undergoes considerable elongation and necking before fracture. That is the statement. Okay. Now read the conclusion. The material is ductile. Yes, the material must have very high Young's modulus. No, a very high material must have to be ductile. Then we will get the elongation and necking. Na? Elongation, necking in the mild steel. In the mild steel, you know, na? So material must have very high Young's modulus. If very high Young's modulus, that means, you know, very high Young's modulus means you have to apply, you know, stress is proportional to strain, na? So stress is equal to what? E into strain, na? So if you want to get the strain and E is very high, you have to apply, you have to use the very high stress. So second point is not right. Only one is right. Material is ductile, will get the considerable elongation necking before the fracture. Cup and cone fracture surface is usually associated with cup and cone fracture. Cup and cone will get in the ductile material only. This is something like that. This, you know, cup and cone fracture, something like that. When we talk about ductile material, na, the failure is takes place as a cup and cone fracture. Cup and cone. Cup and cone fracture is typically ductile fracture pattern. It occurs after large plastic deformation and necking. The, you know, center generally fracture by void growth, while outer region fracture by shear. That's why. Keep in mind that thing there. Here you can say original specimen. This is your necked specimen. This is cup and cone. Before fracture, it will be happening necking there. Necking means area is minimum there, right? And after that, we will get the cup and cone fracture. Question number 22. This is a session region question. What will be answer, my dear friends? Question number 22. Brittle material shows a large plastic region in its, no yaar, statement itself is wrong. The brittle material shows large plastic region, that is wrong. If this is wrong, no, go to the option. A and R true, A and R true, A is true, R is false, A is true but R is, A is false but R is true, easily. Brittle material usually fractured with a very little permanent deformation. Yes, that is easy question. Easily we are able to answer. So correct answer will be what, my difference? D for Delhi. In that case, we will get the answer. That is the next question. The final stage of a creep, which end in failure is? What is the, you know, three stages in the creep: primary, secondary and tertiary. And last stage what? Tertiary stage. Creep is what? It is the permanent deformation in any object at a constant load, but at an elevated temperature. Usually I used to give the example, if you have a fan in your room, leave it for 3, 4, 5 years and after that check their length. It will be increase in the micromem. That different things you cannot analyze, you cannot sense, or you cannot see through the naked eye, but take their reading today, live for 5 years, and after that take the reading, you will see micromem will be increased there. That is nothing but that is your creep. So, and that is the tertiary stage is the failure. This is primary, secondary and tertiary stage, and tertiary will get the failure there. Here sometimes they will ask where the constant creep rate, it will be secondary. Sometimes even they will ask the question where is the constant creep rate, then it will be the second region they may ask. So be ready for that also. Glass is generally classified as glass, crystalline, amorphous. Very simple. Glass is what? Amorphous material. Glass is what? Amorphous. Amorphous means they do not have regular pattern. There will be missing of pattern. They will not follow any regular pattern of the unit cell. That's what it is called amorphous. Now, which of the following is a thermoplastic material? That is the question from the modern material, right? Bakelite, epoxy resin, PVC or melamine. Thermoplastic material. So thermoplastic means what? Two types of polymer, thermoplastic, another one is thermosetting. Thermosetting means the material which setting is not possible. What the meaning of that, sir? Means you have a material, you are going to heat them, after that it is getting softened, and again you cannot convert to change their shape. That is called basically thermosetting, means their shape and size is fixed. Once I have changed, after that I am not able to change. But if you talk about thermoplastic, several times you can change their shape and size by heating and cooling. So the example of PVC, polyvinyl chloride, it comes under the thermoplastic material. So my dear friends, that all about that things. Okay, and already I have told you, material science and paper 2 already I have completed in our paid batch. So my dear friends, if you are interested, you can connect with our team, they will help you out and you can join. And you have a golden opportunity to crack that exam. And question level is, they are not tough. If you have little bit idea, you have knowledge and you have practice, you could be able to crack the exam. Rest, good luck. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you all. Good luck to all.